You're now listening to Fresh Out, the world's most dangerous music podcast on the OMG Network and rawcynic.com.
F to the R to the S to the H to the O to the U to the T. That Fresh Out.
What's up? What up?
Wake up, neighbors?
Wake up, neighbors. We disturbing the peace again and again.
Hey, it's that that gas tax season, that holiday.
Oh, is that what it is?
Shout out to Biden falling off that bike was good. First of all, he wasn't even riding the bike. He like stopped. And I think he had them either he had them cloud sneakers on or something from the dollar store and just tipped over that.
Man, he better not have no dollar store shoes on.
Or he had them cloud. You know, white boys wear them cloud joints now. They kind of hot though.
Well, them on clouds is not.
On clouds is right? Yeah,
those is like. I call them from where I'm from, I call them the Rochester Hills. Okay?
Yeah, they like
Rochester Hills though.
Rochester. They swaggy though. They swaggy. We got Bebo P in the building. What's good, Bebo P?
Hey
good,
man, living good, and man, with Fresh Out with you brothers and J Camp, man, we power driving through everything like Curry, Curry did a fan at the GSW parade, baby.
Yeah,
we power driving. There it is. What else?
Stop it, man. Hey, hold on. That wasn't even Curry. That was Clay,
who was that? Who was that?
Clay over there drunk.
Clay David.
Oh, man.
Clay.
If I was short, I would have sued him. he trucked her, dog.
Man, my bad, Curry. But you did have that. You did have that one nigga kind of behind you, bussy popping or something behind it.
And first of all, let's be clear. Bussy's in the dictionary now.
Wow. I
guess.
guess.
Lil Nas X, just so y'all know.
Okay then. Okay.
We got LB the Pop Father in the building. What's good?
What's happening? Hey man, I'm doing good. I missed you guys last week, but I was listening though. I was riding to the airport. I was listening. I couldn't get logged into my account. I was gonna make some comments. it was a good show, man. But yeah, I missed you guys, man. It's always good to get back on.
Hey man, LB the Pop Father with that golf course life. You know what I'm saying? That's that new one, that golf course life.
Yeah,
yeah. New t-shirt. We gotta drop a t-shirt, man. Golf course life.
Oh goodness.
He out there laughing at everybody else. Gas tax holiday.
Yeah, man. Gas. Chauffeur.
Right.
Get a couple of homeless people while you're on the way.
Hey, I'm working from home.
Yes, sir. Sir. LB the Podfather, sir.
Yeah. A little short. Remember that little short that I sent you in the group chat when I was fighting everybody?
Yeah.
Hey man, shout out to J Kent, man.
He parachuted with the umbrella.
Yeah, he did parachute, and he got the girl too.
He sure got the girl.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to J Kent, man. He's on that vacay, man, getting that tan, man, smelling like a straight vacay. Him and wifey out there, man, just throwing money out there. Shout out to J Kent.
Hey, you gotta have those moments too, man. Just shouts out to my married folks, man. You take some time for yourself from time to time.
This is the season for like either you dropping the kids off or you don't have no kids. You have the kids and you got to entertain them, or because there's no school, or you got to drop them off to grandma.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Well, what's your thoughts, real quick, just on the gas, man? You think we actually gonna get the little tax break for a little bit, or what you gonna think? What you thinking?
Bebo, this is
man,
I know it's your favorite.
Just real quick, man. We can't. This is a long. We got a long episode.
I think L's an instant reaction with that Mr. Ed that he just gave. I think that really just said it all. I think they talking about close to $200 a barrel this coming summer.
Okay.
So I mean, as a possibility. So I don't know what a gas tax is gonna do as far as like making things a whole lot better.
Yeah, what's it gonna drop it like 20 cents?
Man,
that helps out when you got a BMW with premium.
Man, gas tax.
Right.
They'll be out there on the golf course.
Yikes.
I've heard of gas. I've never pumped that stuff before.
You guys are horrible. Hey man, hey, we got Clef Low Dollar in the building. Clef Low P. What's going down?
Yeah, it's more Creflo P.
Hey man, talking about that gas tax, man. You think it's gonna come through on the holiday?
Man,
joint,
he just
man.
came from the gas from the gas station laughing at us. That's why he laughing now.
Yeah, man. You know, me and Henny Crump.
Yeah,
get sweaty,
you're right about
man.
that. Yeah,
doing what we do.
Hey, how long you got, J. Kim?
I probably got about a good 10, 15.
Hey man, just stay through for this for the bars of the week. How about that?
Okay, for sure.
All right, bet. Tell the wife we said thank you. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to Fresh Out, man. We building this hip hop community, man. It starts with our building blocks, man. J. Camp, Bebo P, LB the Podfather, man. I'm just here to hear all the commentary, man. Iceberg Slim, you know how it goes down, man. If you like what you're hearing, hit the cash app. You know what I'm saying?
Hit it.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the fans, man, holding it down, man. We getting a lot of views, man. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Tonight we just gonna show a little bit of love, or a lot of love. I take it back, man, to Prodigy, man. So stay tuned for that, man. Stay in for that if you can.
Yeah.
But first we got to give a little shout outs, man, and do some housekeeping. Got to shout out to my man, little TJ Get Well. You know, he got shot up at basically trying to stay low key at the Chipotle. You getting shot, getting that naked burrito, man.
That's tough.
Then shout out to my man from Purdue, man, Caleb, Biggie, man. You know, he passed away at 25, man, and you know it's just sad, man. He made his dream to get to the NBA, man. You passed at 25, man. So just sad, man. And of course, man, you know, LB got mad connections at Purdue, so that hits home for us, man. You know, we always at that. You know, we was at that Chauncey here. We was getting busy, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to Purdue, man. You know,
we was out there at the tree hanging out.
Yeah, we was out there driving J. Kim's whip, man, hitting that windshield wiper back and forth, trying to get there.
That willing and able Sable, man.
Hey, man, that's Sable. That Sable got some stories, bro. Legendary. And my man Darius Lee, man, from Harlem, he played at Houston Baptist University, went home for the summer, was in a music video in Harlem, and just got hit with a straight bullet, passed away. So condolences to his family and all that too, man. But what's your thoughts just on the shout outs, y'all, real quick, before we get into the books and board of the week?
Hey man, I kick it off and just say, man, hey, just stay safe out here this summer, man. Up, right? You know what I'm saying? Prices is up, gas prices up, and when all of that happens, man, the wolves come out as well. Especially when it's hot out. Usually when it gets cold, they kind of stay in because they don't want to deal with the cold. But it's hot and the prices is high, man. The wolves is just going for everything, man. So you really, really got to stay safe out here, man. And then just a special shout out to my man, Caleb Swanigan, man. Biggie, he was a gentle giant, man, is how everybody described him, man. And it was just disappointing. We saw some videos and shots of him where he kind of blew up over the years, and you could tell he was just dealing with some things, man. So man, just condolences to everybody, man, and the families and stuff.
I couldn't have said it any better. I mean, I don't really have much to add of anything to that. So I echo the same sentiments that Elle said, condolences to those who have passed on in this segment here, and shout out to those who, are in relation or have some type of relations or connection with all three of these gentlemen here. So, much love to the families, friends, loved ones, and so forth. God bless.
Absolutely well said, fellas. I mean, I know Fort Wayne this morning too. Caleb was from Fort Wayne, so you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all our people in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah, shout out.
Caleb was a baller. We all, everybody was pulling for him. You know what I'm saying? Not just the fact that he's an Indiana boy, he's a Midwest guy, but the fact that he could hoop. You know what I'm saying? We want to see our young men succeed and fly to higher flights, man. I mean, it's unfortunate, man. Shout out to both of these brothers, man, that just way too early to leave this earth, man. But we just want to salute the families, man. Just rest in heaven to both of these brothers, man. And you know what I'm saying? Fresh Out is praying for you.
Absolutely.
Facts. Just want to give her, we start every show with a little shout out, man, just to show some love or whatnot. And also a happy birthday to legendary Pete Rock. We put some love on the IG, social media, but
all right.
the words can't express, man, how we just love that brother, man, and salute to him, man. So just a pioneer in the game too. And like I said, all these brothers, man, we show them mad love to the fam. And then people don't understand, man, when a young dude like this passes, it's not just him and the family. These communities have built these dudes up. So when J. Kemp says shout out to Fort Wayne, we really mean it, because Fort Wayne built this dude. You know what I'm saying? Families, churches, you know what I'm saying? Schools, coaches. So you know,
whole communities break down when they lose good positive men. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Bebo P, tell us about this book of the week real quick, man.
Yeah, man.
This is a dope one, man. It's Detroit all day today, man.
Let's go. Detroit repping. So speaking of Detroit, man, we're gonna go with Dilla Time. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go with the book Dilla Time, the life and afterlife of Jay Dilla.
That cover's crazy.
It is crazy. The hip hop producer who reinvented rhythm. This book, y'all, it's essentially a read that is written to in accordance to the author to clarify how revolutionary James Yancey was, and not only how influential he was to his fans and consumers, but really also how Detroit was influential to him.
Yes.
And there was over 200 people that were interviewed for this literary work. Sway from the Sway in the Morning Show, he said when he interviewed the author, Dan Charnas, Sway said that basically, like an author like Dan, he's the type of person who is definitely going to go above and beyond, basically, to get the meticulous details and facts about anything that he's going to write about. So the info in this book titled Dilla Time, it's highly likely not just credible, but beyond credible. So if you're a fan of Dilla, definitely check it out, because you're bound to see something in there, or some information that you may not have known that's going to be enriching. And if you've never heard a whole lot about Dilla, then it's just going to be that much more enriching to you when you open those pages. So rest in peace to Jay Dilla, a legend in hip hop. And go ahead and pick this book up and take a gander at it. It's definitely going to be worth the read, I'm sure.
I saw this joint, but now that you talking about it, I got to get it. So
definitely got to get this one. Yeah, they got it on billboards in Detroit. As you drive into Detroit, you'll see it on billboards.
Oh, nice. So, there you go.
That's dope. I mean, the fact that Dilla is the legend that he is.
Yeah, man.
But just the fact that there's a book, man, that's written about his life and legacy, man, and just the musical genius that he is well worth the read. And I encourage folks to pick that up, man, and definitely learn about how one of the best producers of all time was able to craft the way he was crafting, and was able to put out the type of hits he was able to do. Shout out to Detroit, man. I mean, it's gonna be a lot of Detroit flavor.
It sure is.
A lot of Detroit love today.
Speaking of Detroit,
speaking of bangers, they can't, man. What's the bars of the week?
Man, you know I got to stay in Detroit. Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michigan folks, but I got to go.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Album is silly. First of all, Elzai is one of the best MCs in the world.
Yes.
He's
Elzai for 7.
One part of Slum Village, the new Slum Village, I guess, if that's what you want to call them. But man, just go cop this album, man. I mean, it's like it's on the hip hop soul level. Again, we've been talking about Raucous Records lately. If you in bag, if you like Common, if you like Mos Def, if you like that type of flavor, you definitely gonna love this Zeitgeist album.
Okay.
It's flavor for your ear, to quote Craig. Rest in peace, Craig Mack, too.
Hey, can we talk about Georgia Ann, though? Because that surprised me on the record. I didn't know she was so soulful, man.
She's killing on there, man. She's like a Jill Scott. I mean, I'm putting her on that level. I'm not saying that she is Jill Scott, but she gives it that element of how Jill Scott used to bless the roots. She's doing the same thing. Georgia's doing the same thing with Elzai. And they make a beautiful tag team. They make a beautiful duo for this album. Well crafted. the bars is crazy. Elzhi's always gonna kill the bars, but it's just a whole vibe. I mean, you can jam this with your lady. Okay. And you can jam this with your mama. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is for everybody. This ain't just for the streets. This is for the soul. You know what I'm saying? So you can jam this with everybody.
This is why you come to Fresh Out for this stuff right here, man.
Yeah. Elzhi is definitely one of the best lyricists of shoot, man. Just period. You know what I'm saying? To do it. I mean, shoot, man. When you compare like flows, lyrical flows, I'll put it like that. I mean, Elzhi is definitely one of the top dudes that you go to for the lyrics, the wordplay, and the flow. Absolutely. The flow to just be so smooth as butter with it. So,
we talking about dudes who just rap. To your point, this dude can rap. Like
he can.
He's a rapper's rapper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Can rhyme. That's what he does. Like we talking about there's professionals with the pen.
Yes.
This dude is a professional with the pen.
Big.
You know what I'm saying? Like he understands the art of MCing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like on that like Black Thought Nas type level where
this was a master class. When I put it in, when you told me what the bar was, what it was for the week, I put it in real quick. I mean, Georgia and she blew my mind. I was like, who am I listening to? And then I was like, oh, Elzhi, and then Elzhi start flowing, and it's like jazz, soul, hip hop.
Yeah. It's fused, man.
It's adult contemporary hip hop.
It's like listening to the Roots. That's what this album made me feel like. It was like listen to the Roots, listen to Common, or listen to Mos Def. That's the vibe that I got.
There you go.
When I heard this album.
Hey man, and this cover is dope too, man.
It is.
The cover is crispy.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's money. So LB, you ain't gotta hide this album from your back. You can throw it off in the deck on a road trip. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I need that. I need that though. I need that. I always need that.
This is independent music, you know what I'm saying?
It is.
The mix down, the vocals, the piano play, the beats, the compression. Like if you were studio head, this album is a master class, man. Like when J. Kemp told me about it, I was like, who the heck is he talking about? Because I looked at the title first and then I didn't see Elzhi. And then I put it on, and God bless. First of all, God bless BOP for the book. But God bless J. Kemp for this album, because it would have slipped past my brain if he didn't make it the bars of the week. And it's just so many jewels on the record. It's a refreshing album for what you're hearing nowadays.
Yeah,
this is a must cop, man. And it's on vinyl too. It's on vinyl. So if you got vinyl, go cop it.
J. Kemp, keep this up, man. Keep this up, because I need every one of your recommendations. I need it.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I put that right up there with that Kendrick as far as like grown man music. Like if you need some adult contemporary music, with some jewels, with some life lessons.
Okay,
that it's in that same vein. Same vein. This really is for grown folks, man. If you grown and sexy, you need that Elzhi in your life.
Yeah.
Okay, then that's what's up.
Nice.
Any words before you got to get off, Jay, man?
Nah, man. Just shout out to you, brothers, man. Just happy to be able to tap in, man, for a brief, man. And,
we appreciate it, man.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. Real talk.
Yeah. You and your family, man. Have fun, man. You and your family, just do your thing out there.
Appreciate y'all, brothers.
Hey, man, sip something for me, Doc.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I'm about to do now, man.
Tip it on up, brother. Tip it on up.
Did you bring the right?
Oh, yeah. You already know I got my FRSHOUT joint with me.
Here we go, man.
There you go. There you go.
All right, man. Hold it down, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
PNP. He hold it down. PNP.
PNP, baby. Hold it
down. We'll send you our taxes. We'll send you our taxes, Creflo. So we can join,
baby, holding it down.
Yeah, man. That Henny Crump, that.
Right.
Hey, man, bars of the week was serious.
Peace, brother.
Kemp, man, all day long, man.
Hell yeah, very serious.
Okay, man. Yeah, the album cover serious, man. Like it's.
Hey, I'm glad he made it here just to deliver this, man. Because I feel like every week I'm trying to find out this information, man, and I just don't have it. And so, like, honestly, I'd be looking for the bars of the week before they get here. I'm like, oh man, I need to see the bars of the week. You know what I'm saying? So definitely.
Hey man, if you're not subscribed, if you haven't hit the like button, man, hit that button, man. This is the way we get out to the algorithm, man, and get on the suggestive little bar, man. Hit that joint. Where is it at? Somewhere over here.
Wherever
hit that joint, man, and share it too, man. If you're on Facebook, man, if your girl ain't creeping on your page, put this on your joint, man. Let her see what you're looking at, man. Let her share the moment, man. Share the episode with her, man.
Shout out to Champion too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and shout out to Freddie G. He just had his boy. He just had his baby boy.
Oh, congratulations, man.
So peace to Freddie G, the general.
That's
Conquered, the social. He just had his baby boy. So that's
and also we're gonna put a link in the description, man. Cop is since he got that baby, go listen to his music. You know what I'm saying? Put some money in his pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For sure.
Cop some singles, man. Definitely stream his music, man, all day long because we want to support independent music all day long.
All day. Don't just let us hold all these, man. Share some with share some of the love, y'all.
Yeah,
exactly.
Man, do that.
It's all good. It's all good.
Speaking of love. Somebody was giving out too much love on this album, man. It may be a weed plate. We gotta talk about LB's favorite singer, man, that Breezy. Doc.
Hey man, hey, he's nice though. He's nice.
Okay. So this is the question I got for y'all, man. Okay, he said he recorded 250 songs. And we know that sometimes, Breezy's one of these streaming artists. He'll put 40 songs on the record.
He will. He will.
This comes out this Friday. This is his 10th studio album.
That's crazy.
Is Breezy still top as far as top 5 R&B? Right now, 10th studio album, is he top 5 R&B?
I think so.
Yeah. It's hard to defend him outside of the top 5. I like
as far as current day top.
Yeah. If we talk about
top 10, right?
Right
top
now, 5? Right in this moment, when he gets ready to drop this album, like who are the 5? Who's the 5 other people that is like iller than him?
Usher.
Is Usher even right now? Like right now in 2022?
I don't know about Usher. I don't know about Usher as far as like he once was, but I don't know about now.
No, Usher had him at some point, but I don't know if he has him right now.
I don't think he has him now.
Trigger Trey.
I don't know if Trigger has him in 2022.
That's what I'm saying.
Bryson.
Bryson had, and I'm a Bryson fan, but that second album was kind of.
This is where you need Jay Kemp because Jay Kemp, what's a dude, Black or something like that, or something like that.
Six Black might be able to get with him, right? Yeah,
I like 6 Black, but he ain't got the fan base.
Right, he don't necessarily have a fan base, but he if you thinking purely artistically, he can compete. We'll just start there. We'll start there. He can compete. Okay. Yeah. Who else? Come on,
my guy Ty Dolla, man. Come on, Ty Dolla.
Yeah.
Ty Dolla $ign for sure.
That's Bebo P when he's bedroom bully, man. You know what I'm saying? He wants that Ty Dolla.
Yeah, can I say it, L? Can I say it? Or
go
you
ahead.
Say
go
it?
ahead. You got
this, bro. Bedroom bully, man. Right. Bebo P.
So we named 2. We got Ty Dolla $ign and we got 6 Black. Who else?
I could put Blast in there, but Blast ain't on this level though. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I can say that.
Okay, so we got 3 people now? We'd have to find 2 more. Not a chance. Not a chance.
I guess Breezy wins like Cardi B. There's no really competition.
Right.
Yeah,
well. I mean,
but is Breezy
Beyonce
making the songs is Breezy making songs that move you though?
Oh no,
that moves like when you say you talking about the audience in general?
I'm just talking about you, like us, or is that music not us? So we kind of get off my grass joint right now.
No, I mean I think he Breezy's gonna do what's for the times, and he's gonna keep it solid. It's musically solid. So. Is he just for? I mean, he's an R&B singer for the ladies, so of course he's going to cater to them. But I think at the same time,
can you put Omarion on the top 5 with him?
No. No, and that ain't no disrespect, but that's just he ain't on Chris Brown's level, and I think that Chris Brown is just one of those like he's become a legacy artist in his own right. When it comes to heck, L's just going through you and L and I are going through the list of like all of these dudes who might come close or might not, and it's too hard to do.
So with that being said, are y'all going to listen to the album?
I'll
since
check
he's
it out.
number one.
I'm for sure checking out the album. Now here's the thing.
Right.
Now here's what I'm gonna do though. I'm gonna do just like I did with that last 40 track album that he put out. I don't know if that was
the Indigo, the 32 song.
It had about 2 songs, the whole 40.
But I basically just make a playlist of the like 12 joints that I rock with, and then I keep it pushing. Now, even though I don't like that because I'm getting in my old man get off my grass type of a thing, here's what I do like though. I'm sure that my 12 is different from the next person's 8 that's different from the next person's like 15 or whatever. So I do think there is some value beyond just streaming numbers in maybe putting out some of those joints that are close to making the cut, because they might be the joint for somebody else though. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not necessarily against that, although I think the thing that sucks is like you got to try to wade through these.
You got to work through it like it's wade in the water. You got to wade through all these songs, man.
You got to work, man. You got to work, man.
I think I'm gonna say this, and I ain't trying to start nothing. Bebop's trying to start some mess. I think that this is gonna be better than the Drake.
Wow.
Honestly, never mind.
Wow. So this is basically over Rihanna then.
Because
ASAP can't come out with no album.
Ooh.
So let's be clear. Let's go back in time real quick.
Okay.
In 2017, he had an album called Heartbreak on a Full Moon that had 57 tracks.
Who did?
Breezy.
Okay.
57 tracks. Because at first I was like, he's capping. He ain't make no 250 songs. But then I had to go back and like, okay, Heartbreak on a Full Moon, 2017, 57 tracks. Then he had Indigo, who came out in 2019, like B-Boy P said, 32 tracks. The extended version had 42 tracks.
Man,
this one's going to have only 23 tracks, so you don't have to wait that much.
only.
But it's definitely B-Boy P bedroom bully certified.
Bedroom bully.
So we want to know what's going down, B-Boy P, on Sunday, man. Since you're gonna do that gas tax holiday with that Breezy album.
Yeah, man.
So you gotta tell us what's going down.
Yeah, man.
On Sunday.
You gotta tell us how effective it is.
Yeah, effective, yeah, man.
Y'all are something else, man. Hey, peace to Breezy, man.
Hey,
shout out to Breezy.
Peace to Breezy.
Yeah. No, here's the thing, man. Here's what I do know. I know that there's gonna be at least at the bare minimum like 5 tracks that just absolutely jam, and you know what? In 2022, I'm okay with that. I'll take my little 5 joints.
Okay.
I'm gonna rock out to the 5. He's gonna have at least. He's gonna give us one of those like kind of older ballad songs for the old guys like me. And then those other 4, they really gonna be for the little 22-year-olds, but they still gonna jam. And so I'm
the
still gonna
boppers.
listen to them. Yeah. For the boppers.
Hey, let me tell you what Iceberg Slim, the A&R, would do.
Okay.
I take Breezy, pause. Get him with Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis. Get him with like
Babyface
with Tim and Bob. Get him with Devontae Swing.
That Bobbert. Ooh, Devontae
Get him
too.
with Devontae Swing.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Make the tracks right, and then you come in maybe with like DJ Mustard or some other guys, and maybe change up the drum tracks or something like that. Or remix. Do some classic R&B. Even Teddy Riley. Shout out Teddy Riley.
Yeah, man.
Do a classic R&B joint, and then you have a double album. One for the old heads that sounds like some old head music. Then you have the younger producers remix those songs with the bed of the classic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because all you're doing right now is seeing all these young dudes on TikTok basically taking all these old Tony records and all these Bobby Brown records and Keith Sweat records, and then they dancing to them.
Yeah, big facts. That's exactly what's going down.
Make an album with the vibe on it, man. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Hey, man. Listen.
Get old cat some bread too. You know what I mean?
If they release the article saying in September he's gonna come out with that joint, hey man, I'd be all over it. I'd be all over it. I'd be like, yeah, this Chris Brown album gonna be crazy. Yeah, man.
There you go.
For sure.
Speaking of crazy, we gotta talk about Kermit and Miss Piggy. Oh, my fault.
Oh, stop it.
We gotta talk about Kermit and Miss Piggy. Who keyed you?
Stop it.
We gotta talk about Kermit and Miss Piggy on this joint.
This dude here.
Doggy Diamonds, man. If y'all not watching Doggy Diamonds, man, check him out on YouTube and IG. And of course, everything you're seeing on his channel on YouTube is a podcast. Go subscribe. He talked about this, so we had to react to it.
Okay.
Where T.I. basically, VH1 finally canceled Family Hustle. Finally. But like I said, and we're not hating on the bag. Get the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Get the bag.
This show's been out for 13 years.
Man, that's a long time.
Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? For some people, they the Huxtables.
Yeah, for some people.
But because of all the sexual allegations, they went ahead and cut the clip, man, on the show, man, which is a big bag. Pause. I know he's over there crying in one of his mansions.
yeah, with that Fast and Furious money.
But obviously, when he heard the news, he lashed out and said, "Hey, man, VH1's not being loyal. I've been out here for a long time, no integrity. They just jumped to conclusions with the false allegations. No apologies, no accountability, no closure, in the name of protecting women, while unfairly, without having any due process. Subsequently, punishing women." Which is his wife, I guess he's talking about. So, what's your thoughts on this and him thinking a corporation is going to be loyal to a heterosexual black man, and behind the Me Too movement of him having extra relations with a woman, with his wife, and then the woman coming out saying what she said?
Hey, listen,
why wouldn't they do what they do?
Is it Kofi time, L? Is it Kofi time? You sound like you're about to go in on this.
I'm not quite at the Kofi. I'm not at the Kofi yet. I'm not at the Kofi.
All right, brother. All right.
Let's just start with the beginning of Iceberg Slim's statement, man. And that is he started off by just saying, what makes you think that a corporation? And let's just stop right there, right? Because
let's do what?
Just stop right there. Stop. We're gonna stop right at the corporation thing. A private corporation, basically, for all intents and purposes, can operate in whatever form or fashion that they want to, outside of violating federal, protection laws, right?
Yep, that's
and
true.
Even when you get into entertainment, the moment you get into entertainment, a lot of those federal protection laws go away because it's hidden within the guise of entertainment.
It's in that contract.
Yep.
So that's the reason that a modeling agency can tell somebody you too ugly and you can't work for me, right? They can tell you that, but a company that does banking can't tell you that because they're not in the business of entertainment or modeling or whatever, right? So once you get into a private corporation, and then B, something that starts to go into the area of entertainment, bro, they can do whatever the heck they really want. And all they got to do is be like, oh man, it just doesn't help our entertainment value. And they don't even have to give out any other information, and they can just move along and do what they want to. And so this is part of the reason why people even just say, man, you got to be loyal to yourself, because these corporations ain't going to be loyal to you. And let's just be clear about that. I don't care. All of us here work for a company, and we all know that if we go in there and we ain't tap dancing enough or whatever we supposed to do, we ain't put on that pretty little smile that day or whatever's supposed to happen, man, they eject us up out of them companies so quick and have our replacement right behind the door as we walking out with
he's already there.
Right. And so what makes you think that VH1 is supposed to operate any differently? You know what I'm saying? And the next thing is we're talking about a TV show, man. Most TV shows don't make it past 5 years. So if the moment he got past 5 years, he should have just been counting his money and then keep it and keep it moving, man. Go do the next Ant-Man movie or whatever, bro. Like, this is if you even can. But I think that's really what this is about, right? Is that he still wants to get that Marvel Ant-Man money, okay? And he can't get that money if VH1 is out there, quote unquote.
That's a good point too.
You know, sort of like muddying his name or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So honestly, he probably don't even care per se about this particular bag, although it is a good bag. I do think that there's other bigger bags that this particular one.
But I agree with you. I think they're connected to this, though.
They're connected to this, right? Because as we all know, it's always a good old boy network, right? All the technology CEOs know everybody. All of the entertainment CEOs know each other. Fact. So and if they don't, their kids know each other, their cousins, their aunts, all of that stuff. It's a family business, let's be very clear, which is why it's always tough in Hollywood, right? And so yeah, if you know, the VH1 CEO was talking to the Disney CEO, is talking to the Viacom CEO, like they all talking to each other. And so yeah, if they like, hey man, you know, we have to bounce them off of this, then Disney might not be cutting them that check for that next movie or whatever, man. And so I think he's seeing some of the writing on the wall of like, if I don't sort of manage what this looks like, it could affect, like, it could have a cascading effect. And I think that's more of what it's about than this particular thing. At least I hope, because man, bro, like, you knew this was coming, man. Come on.
Well, Bebo, what you thinking, Bebo?
I mean, L just laced that one so eloquently. All I could do is really just do a cliff notes of what he just basically authored there. But yeah, a company doesn't owe anybody any apologies or loyalty if somebody that they're in partnership with is accused of something that threatens their credibility of that company, as well as his bottom line too. And you know, VH1, they can't afford to take the risk of just blindly stating that they can, you know, trust anybody who could be accused of whatever it is that's being thrown at them of serious nature. I mean, if these companies are loyal to anyone, it's their self-interest.
The self-interest of their cash.
And their cash. That's right. Yes, absolutely. And that's a significant component of what business is about. T.I. knows that. I'm pretty sure he does. And I think that, you know, ties in again with
he better know expeditiously then.
Yeah, expeditiously. Yeah.
It's kind of funny how he released that Kevin Samuels joint. Next thing you know, he added it.
Oh, no.
Well, let me ask you this question, Bebo P.
Hold on,
because
I'll
take it.
Oh, the Koofy.
3802. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, but let's be clear, expeditiously. Me and you watch Country Wayne on YouTube.
Yeah, we do.
It's fire, by the way. And shout out to Amber.
Okay.
Got my eye, you woman. So, and shout out to Mike Bless with the going global. You know what I'm saying? But Country Wayne doing his thing. People don't even know how much bread he's making.
Oh yeah,
he's doing his thing. Why doesn't T.I. do that real quick, Bebo? Just real quick.
I think real quick, because the money on that mainstream, you know, machine side is just ever so luscious, so to speak.
Wow.
With less work.
Less work too. Yes, it's less work, more money. Going the independent route is more work for maybe not as much money, but will still sustain you a pretty significant lifestyle if you play your cards right. Boom. He's been in that world for so long. You know, that's kind of hard to deviate from. So. Okay. And you know, man, that Ant-Man money, that Disney, L was so right about that. If you lose out on one thing, it's like, oh shoot, if I lose out on Disney's his own government. So hey, and not even just figuratively, literally.
No, literally
out in Florida.
No, literally.
Yeah. So
no, legit.
Yeah. So in short, that's what I think it could be. Iceberg, but if you got a Koofy or one of
I think honestly, man, like T.I. really needs to think about going ahead and you're in Atlanta. pretty much HDTV does and Food Network does all their shows in Atlanta.
Yeah.
If you look at any new show where there's a black woman buying a house and they ask her what she does for a living, still go, I work at nighttime. Like, we know what you do at nighttime.
Yeah, but I mean, Tyler Perry got his studio there, bro.
Well, so my thing is, why don't you holler at Tyler Perry, get a production joint, and say, "Hey, man, like, let's do the YouTube joint and let's go."
But if here's the thing though, if like you're Tyler Perry, and I'm not saying this is the case, but if a particular company like a VH1 or any company of that like is saying, "Look, we got to cut our ties," then who's to say like your Tyler Perry's, your Oprah Winfrey's, and so forth, who are connected with these powerhouse machine companies, won't kind of look at you with a side eye?
True, very true.
So you might not be able to approach them.
Then I'm out here doing the cleanup, man. I'm over here donating clothes to so and so. I'm doing turkey giveaway. I'm being Nino Brown, the hood. I'm trying to clean it up, bro. You know what I'm saying?
But to
rekindle
Slim's
our
point,
vows together as a wife and husband.
To Slim's point, though, man, let's be clear though. To make a show for YouTube, man, all you need is like what, 2 or 3 iPhones and a couple of GoPros,
and
you can get busy.
Dude, you don't need the big boy cams, dog.
That's right.
Country Rain made the blueprint, dude.
He did.
Honestly, if you look at most of these guys that have these big numbers and stuff, they'll end up doing it behind the scenes, man. And a lot of times they ain't using they'll be like, yeah, I got this, $10,000 camera over here, but I don't even use that $10,000 camera, or I only use it for like these 5 shots, and all the rest of the shots is on some other like bull. It costs like $500, man. So there's the opportunity there, but I do think it's the fact that you got to do work. Like you got to manage people, you got to manage situations, and I just think he just wants to show up, talk crazy, and get the bag. And you can't do that with a YouTube show. And I think that's what he would prefer to do. And I don't see him going to YouTube route, because hey, man, you got to put in the work to get that done. As we know right here on YouTube right now.
Right.
Like and subscribe while you at it.
Speaking of getting the bag.
Get to the bag.
We gotta talk about Beyonce, man, queen, of everything, queen of all the black women, queen of all the earth, queen of everything. Lion King, she's everything.
The only person that can beat Breezy.
Yeah, basically.
You about right.
First of all, Beehive, don't be coming at FRSHOUT. This is all friendly fire right here.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. Please don't do it. But shout out to Beyonce, dropped a little surprise situation. She has a 17-song album on the way, 12-song album on the way. I think Beehive already got Apple server trying to get that boy. But it's a house single, just like how Drake dropped a house album.
Yeah.
My question is to you guys is, and she also had Big Frida on there, which Big Frida is from the Alphabet situation. So we kind of know what this song was aimed towards, but it was also marketed, if you go online and go to Google, it's being marketed as the anthem for the Great Resignation, which, if you don't know what that is basically everybody leaving a job and just being free and happy and naked on the beach for whoever has no responsibilities. What's you guys' thoughts on this single, and also how it's being marketed to this be free, hippie, be woke, Alphabet situation, almost just like the Drake joint? So you have the 2 biggest artists coming out with these be free, Buzz Lightyear, same situation Kiss joints. What's your thoughts on this, man?
Stop. Bebo, you got this one.
Yeah, go ahead, Bebo.
No, L, you already started, brother. Don't point that at me. You already started. Go ahead and finish it up, son.
Hey,
you got this one.
Listen, I'm gonna just
hold on. Before you go in, the lyrics are: release your anger, release your mind, release your job, release the tide, release your trade, release the stress, release your love, forget the rest.
Listen, man, first and foremost, the daggone Buzz Lightyear stuff, That's out of control, man. Like, no, like it doesn't matter. Just like that, they was making all that noise about the daggone Red Panda movie. Doesn't matter, man. It's not that serious at all. But I'm gonna get to this song. I'm just not into house music like that. So I'm not the
Chicago. We LB ain't been up there. Man.
Hey, listen.
Shout out to
Listen, I love the vibes of different cities. So yeah, like if I go to Chicago, I will probably jam out to some house music because like that's what they doing. If everybody's there and everybody's jamming and vibing, I can get with that, right? But it's not necessarily for me. Like I'm not going to go
can't
out
get jiggy with this.
I'm not gonna go out and pursue most house music. Now, if I end up at a spot and everybody's jamming, I'm just gonna go with the vibe, right? And I'm gonna enjoy myself in that moment. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not seeking this out. So I do think there is something going on where folks is trying to really I think they trying to get to that global bag a little bit more by going
Mike
into this sort of
bag, going global.
Go into this sort of like I'm gonna do this house music stuff. I just think with all things, sometimes the pendulum just swings a little too far, right? So if things are a little bit too far right, then it'll swing hardcore left, and there needs to be a little time for that pendulum to sort of like sway back to the middle a little bit, right? So I have no problem with house music. I just think that maybe you just need like a house music vibe and not like a complete house music type joint, especially if that's not been the thing that you normally do. Now, if anybody can move sound and culture in different directions, it's Beyonce, right? I would say the two people that I believe can move sounds is Beyonce and Kanye, right? And whether you like them, love them, or otherwise, many times when they do things, people watch, evaluate, and imitate, and those things will kind of go in that direction. So I have complete faith that she actually might move the direction of music a little bit because she's just that powerful in this game. It's just not for me. Okay, so I'm just, it's cool. I'm gonna check for it because I have enjoyed almost all of Beyonce's projects that she's come out with.
Facts.
I've always found something that I've enjoyed from most of her music. So I'm definitely gonna continue to check for it and see what's there. This first piece is just not for me. Now, if she goes full on Drake with this mess, and it's all like house music, at least Drake kind of told us up front, like, hey man, this is a full house album or whatever, right?
Bebo P vibes.
She gotta help us out with that because that's not what I want. But I do believe that there's other people that's what they want. It just it ain't for me.
Bebo, what you thinking?
The first thing I heard instantly was that 90s, I think it was the 80s or 90s joint that was inspired by that. I think it was the Show Me Love, the old school joint.
You got to show me
yeah, by Robin S. and Sandeville, I believe. Yeah. So that was the first thing I
that publishing check.
Absolutely. But I thought the exact same thing as L had stated, which in so many words is the fact that it does seem that the angle is to steer Bey, at least with this song, into another category of music, perhaps a more universal standpoint, basically. And for this to drop right after Drake's, Honestly Nevermind makes me want to put on the kufi.
Go ahead and take
because I think that Drake is an insider in this game, meaning I wouldn't be surprised if he knew about
going in.
There you go. I wouldn't be surprised if he knew about her dropping an album soon, along with a single of this nature. You know what I'm saying? So couple that with the fact that Drake is an insider regarding trends. So he's had an album already done with a house type of vibe, and with you got other artists like white supremacist Doja Cat. Dang! J Camp's favorite artist, Lizzo.
Man, shout out to J Camp, man. You know what I'm saying? With that Lizzo vibe.
Iceberg's yeah. Iceberg's favorite, The Weeknd, you know, gaining traction.
Yeah, I mean, you got nice hair. Well, hold on. Before you go in, before you finish up,
go ahead.
Insider information: Drake, the label didn't even know that Drake was going to submit an album.
Right, they didn't.
So he dropped it off.
That's my point.
On Thursday, he delivered it to him, emailed it to him Thursday night.
Right.
And said, put it out tomorrow.
Right.
So I think you 100% right with the goof talk. So he knew that, hey, Beyonce's dropping, and I'm gonna drop this before her, because let's be clear, when me and Elle were producing, we have an artist like Bully. We have a UK album, a hip hop album, a street album, or whatever. They are ready, dog. So whatever the vibe is, we can drop that joint.
And I mentioned those you know, the Lizzos and Dojas and so forth, because they've done some level of like house dance type of music that has gained like significant traction. So who better to like take the charge to the, you know, of the music industry than your, you know, then your Drake types.
So she's going to Carrie Hilson,
Beyonce types, if that's the direction they go.
So she basically doing what she did to Carrie Hilson.
Oh man, I don't know if I want to go that deep with the
Carrie. She basically took her vibe, dog.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, hey.
And then kicked her out the game. You saw the footage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey.
Ooh, man.
But that's just a thought, a couple thoughts regarding this situation of Beyonce. And
do you think really just house music? Do you think this is going to be one of her biggest albums, or you think it's going to be like Drake, where people are like, it's okay?
I haven't seen like this ginormous buzz about the song. So, and I'm not saying there's not a buzz. I'm sure it is. I'm just saying I haven't seen as ginormous of a buzz as Beyonce normally would get. So I'm not sure, obviously, what this album's gonna be, but it's hard to tell. It really is hard to tell.
Here's what I will say. I will say that Beyonce, the Bayhive is a bit more loyal than the Drake hive. Okay,
right, yeah, right.
A lot of where Drake's kind of stuff has come from, I would say, is because he basically stole the whole Jay-Z swag and just hopping.
Pass the kufi down.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead. I'm taking that kufi, put it on right now. But he basically just took that whole Jay-Z blueprint of how you just hop on anybody that's hot song,
and then gave it to Jack Harlow.
And he just took it to another level, right? That's essentially what he did. He saw what Jay-Z did. He took that and then he took it to another level. And so I do think a lot of his fans, though, were still kind of based on him being on somebody else's hottest thing, which is what Jay did very well for a long time. But you notice that once Jay stopped doing that, he started having, lower sales or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
although by himself, it wasn't working.
Although he's still critically acclaimed and comes out with great music and stuff like that, it doesn't hit in the same way it used to, like when he was taking Ja's joints and 50 Cent's joints and everybody that was hot in that particular moment. And that's what Drake normally does. So if he's kind of navigating away, kind of like Jay did, I think we're going to start seeing lower and lower. Whereas with the Bayhive, like, hey, they locked in. They honestly, they legitimately do not care. I do think, kind of like how they was making fun of Drake, I do think she could come out like farting on the beat and they'd be like, oh man, Beyonce's farts is just the craziest. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
we know Kevin Gates is gonna eat them. But this is the thing though. This is why we're talking about Beyonce on a hip hop platform, because understand hip hop runs everything. And the blueprint on how to move units comes from urban artists. Let's be clear. You know what I'm saying? And then and just like LB the Podfather was saying, this is just the LL Cool J playbook. This is what LL did pretty much his whole career when he was done like making full albums. He just been, what's the Biggie? Oh yeah, let's take all his producers. Come on, Easy Mo B, come over here. Oh, word, Mobb Deep. Okay, we're gonna do the Mobb Deep records and da 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 da. Come on, man.
Very true.
You can't, but this thing you can be mad at the formula. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, I'm not mad at the formula. You know what I'm saying? It does produce some pretty decent songs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, some of these cats that's out right now could probably stand to use some of that formula because we probably get a few more songs that are digestible than some of these songs these guys be coming out with, because they doing exactly the music they want to do. And sometimes you need to do exactly the music you want to do, and sometimes you need to do other kinds of music as well. But I think we get less of that now. And kind of to your point when you were saying, like, if I was A&R in this, I would do X. I don't think that happens like almost at all. It's like happens maybe 10% of the time now.
Yeah.
And because of that, I think we do miss out some big songs that some of these artists today could make if they kind of stepped out a little bit of their comfort zone a little bit.
Well, and you saw Alicia Keys do the same thing. Drop the album. It was a weed plate. Nobody cared. But then she was on that New York City, don't leave me tonight. on the Fabio Foreign, and it was a hit. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing that LB the Power Father is saying, and this is why you come to Fresh Out. That's all I gotta say.
All day.
Last thing on Bebo P.
We'll just have to see what this thing, what the album does. You know what I'm saying? As far as with the direction, is this going to go full house dance, or is this just like a one or a couple song, situation that we're going to see from the project? Are we going to see a hard shift pause, into a different direction?
Lily.
Yeah, I mean, here you go.
Hard shift.
See,
hard shift, nigga.
Stop it. There you go. Thank you, L. Thank you, brother.
BOP. Hard shift.
But I mean,
new single.
Wah.
Oh,
hey, real quick. I got you on record 57 on the dot. Certified Lover Boy did 613 units. Kendrick did about 5 something. No, excuse me, 350. What's the number for Beyonce? Give me one right now, man. What's she gonna do first week? First week numbers. Let's go. She ain't dropped none in a couple years. Let's go.
500,000 to 600,000, maybe first week.
What you got? What you got, L?
Oh, I want to go higher. I want to go 700,000.
Okay,
but
wait, hold up. Lemonade did 576.
576.
All right.
Okay.
That is give you a little something.
But I think it is going to be lower, because I'm kind of with Bebo. I haven't really been like this. Really didn't hit my radar, which is kind of crazy, because I know a lot of things don't hit my radar, but usually the bigger things do hit my radar. So I think I'm going to go lower than Bebo.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go that 400 to 500.
All right.
I'm gonna go. It's Beyonce. I'm gonna go 500. 515.
515.
All right, we'll come back and see what you did right.
All right.
Speaking of numbers, man, we gotta talk about LB's hair guy right now, man. That's how L wants to do his hair dye with that little circle, little ball in the back from Rainbow. That's the Rainbow store.
Never.
We gotta talk about Drizzy, man. You know what I'm saying? Wheelchair Jimmy.
So Canadian.
And Wheelchair Jimmy.
What's this all about?
Basically, we were just talking about numbers real quick before we go into and talk about somebody legendary. I'm not saying him, I'm talking about Prodigy. He did 613. He did 613 on Certified Lover Boy. Yep. On this album, he was predicted to do 210 to 213. Is this a flop for Drizzy? We just real quick, you know what I'm saying? It's a flop for Drizzy.
This is a flop for Drizzy. Let's be clear that for him, this is a flop.
Anybody else, they love to do these numbers.
Yeah, but let's also be clear that we have to understand how streaming numbers work as well, right? Which is that if you come out with a song, let's say like 9 months ago, and that song streams like 30 million songs or whatever, right? You get like 100,000 record sales off of that one song that's been out for 10 months for your album. All right. So I believe with Certified Lover Boy, he had a few joints that came out prior to the album actually coming out. And when you have songs that come out prior to, it builds up your numbers so that when your album actually hits, the numbers end up being kind of inflated, but they're inflated because of maybe 2 or 3 songs, right?
Okay.
So when you do this thing where you don't release those songs prior to, and they're not on that album, they can't contribute to your first week sales, it's always going to look lower.
So with that said, do you feel like he would have garnered the same average of numbers his first week if he had done that?
No, even if he changed up the formula, let's say that he took the 2 hottest joints off of here, which I'll never know because I did a quick breeze and this wasn't for me. But
you did a quick breezy.
But let's say he took the 2 hottest songs off of here and he released them, let's say 2 months before this came out. He might have got the 330, which still would have been a flop for Drake. Okay, let's be clear. For Drake, that is a flop. So it might have gave him another 100,000. But it wouldn't have. I don't think either one of the hottest songs on here would have really moved the needle too much further than where it's at. But I did want to clarify how streaming works because sometimes people kind of get that confused, and it's also the reason why you can't compare any of these streaming numbers to any of the stuff that happened previously.
But this is why you come to first.
Big facts.
I totally agree 110% with everything that Elle said. In addition to which, the edit of that little poop emoji right there, and then right there. I think that says something.
Who's so immature on our staff to do this?
I have no idea.
God, dang it. We're trying to make it professional here. We're trying to do numbers.
Yeah, I know. We try to do first take numbers, okay?
Yeah.
But long story short, do you think there might be a balloon effect with the numbers that where like, hey man, you know, because remember the last episode we were talking about like most of the women right now are I'm FRTEF nigga free. So they're playing all this gangster street stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do the majority of most of her consumers want to hear house music? And I mean, even Drake, do they want to hear? We know his fans don't want to hear it, but this might bring him into the Ellen DeGeneres fans.
I personally don't think so because
Drake, I don't know him. I know the house song.
Right, and I don't think that his core is gonna gravitate. I don't think they are gravitating towards.
But do you think he'll bring in a new fan base though? The Buzz Lightyear fan, the same situation kiss.
Not in the fashion that I think that they might be aiming for. Don't get me wrong. In
who
certain
knows
areas
what they're
like Chicago,
aiming for at nighttime? Golf life. Stop.
Right, you're right.
But long story short, it's do you see this album eventually doing big numbers? Or you think it's just going to plateau all because it's like, oh, it's Drake. Oh, hype. And then everybody just goes down and just stop listening to this, weed play.
I mean, when it comes to artists like Drake, folks kind of gradually listen to more and more of their songs and projects, at least from what I gathered. But on an overall basis, I think it'll plateau gradually, or maybe in a sharp, downward spot. Who knows? But I do see a plateau of some sort. Yeah, I don't see it going anywhere either.
It ain't going nowhere.
This ain't going nowhere. You know what?
Yeah.
Some of his other albums, might increase in sales because they'd be like, oh man, I do want to listen to Drake. Not this Drake though. I want to listen to the old Drake.
Right. And
a lot of people wanted that Chick-fil-A. Remember that album that looked like a Chick-fil-A little logo album cover? That's what most people wanted, man. That 50 band. Sunday bands. They wanted that Drake, man. You know what I'm saying?
And he's like, F it. But the thing is,
LB's favorite album.
Right, but yeah. if for those who've listened to Fresh Out for a little bit of time now, I've been getting on Drake for the last few albums that he's done, to say the least. And even with the music that, extra pause. And with even without him doing the Honestly Nevermind, he was on a downward trend to begin with, even there.
People
even
don't go there. Oh my gosh. It's just a young man out here trying to make a living.
Hey,
no lies detected, though. No lies detected.
I'm just saying, like, the minus the Honestly Nevermind, the last few albums just hadn't been there either. That was music, just, I guess, catered to his core, but he wasn't even really passionate then with with
so
those songs and those
doing
projects.
For the bag since he's in a new contract.
I think he's trying to usher in a new wave with the house music crowd and audience. And I think he feels like he could do it in a non-effort fashion, so to speak. But I don't think it's going to work. Not in the way that he thinks it is. Now, don't get me wrong; it's still going to be bumped in like Chicago's and certain areas of Miami. Wherever there's a house, wherever there's a club full of house music or whatever, people are still going to dance and rock to it. But as far as like just on an overall basis, I don't think he's going to accomplish that goal of having a whole nother genre dang near worship him. I just don't see that happening.
Well, here's what I think. I think that this album will be almost kind of like what was it, Yeezus for Yeezy, where that album didn't do anything, right? But it sparked a whole lot of people to take it, because I think Yeezus was it was too far out there, and it was too far ahead of its time for a lot of it. And so the album didn't do anything, but you saw all this stuff sort of spawn from it. I could see that happening, but this album just, it ain't there. Even like Yeezus, it still is not a great album, but people listened to that and they took a whole lot of things from that Yeezus album, and you started to see some other greatness from there. And so, maybe he might be able to look back and say, hey man, I sparked this by doing X, even though this album is not gonna do what he thinks it's gonna do. That's the best case scenario he can wish for.
Now think about it. He probably was hoping that Jack Harlow was going to be the one to just like zoom off with his core style, and then Drake could, just be like, "Hey, you go ahead and do what I was doing over there, and then I could just do this over here."
You got the Koopy.
Let's be clear.
Got the Koopy.
This is almost like an independent album for him as far as money's concerned, because it's the first album and we don't really know where the money's at, but this is the first album on his new deal.
Yes, it is. It is. Let's be clear.
We don't know. So he could, like, it's almost like selling out the trunk. Yeah, you can go $1 million on a label, but then sell 50 out the trunk and you made more money. So he's basically playing with house money right now.
Yeah. So why not?
Whatever, man. But let's talk about some real hip hop.
Let's do it.
Shout out, first of all, shout out to Prodigy, man. Mobb Deep, man. Like, these dudes weathered the storm, man, in their career. Man, dude. Prodigy's one of those guys, man. It's just, he's legendary. You hear his voice, man. He carved a lane in hip hop history, man. And we salute him, man. We just want to talk about his new single album coming out. I need to pronounce it the right way.
The Hegelian dialect.
Hegelian dialect. And what's crazy, this is why I'm calling the podcast
Book of Heroine.
The gas hike or the gas tax holiday. Because some of the stuff that we're seeing is a Hegelian dialect. If you understand what that is, we ain't gonna talk about it. Go Google it. But the album's dope. Single's crazy. It's a perfect vibe for the radio, perfect vibe for the summer. It's called You Will See. It's a banger. If you haven't heard it, man, go check it out. But what do you guys think about Prodigy, man? I just want to speak about him just real quick. So the man and his state some love. Go stream his music. Go check him out. But what's your thoughts on Prodigy and the new project that's going to come out here shortly this summer?
I think that this is the best currently released single that I can think of at this point in time. particularly on the, rap hip hop space. And what I think is so amazing about You Will See is the fact that Prodigy stated in that song that he and Shorty are the 2017 Mickey and Mallory Knox, which that's a reference from the Natural Born Killers movie. And I mentioned that because of all the songs that's out now on the charts, it takes a hip hop legend to drop what he recorded several years ago to thrash a lot of songs that's on the charts, serving as current singles and, charting in the fashion that they are. But with that said, that's just how a legacy artist really just putting out legacy music gets down even after they passed away.
Still moving units.
But with that said, as far as like Prodigy, the artist, I mean, legend. I mean, like I would say that in terms of verses, like as far as like him standing out verse wise, when he first hit the scene, the first time that I saw him hit the scene, it was like, whoa, this dude's a problem. Was that his feature on the LL Cool joint, where he was on there with Keith Murray and Foxy Brown on that posse cut. Now, so I'm not. That's not the first time I've ever heard him. Of course, it was during the infamous Mobb Deep album. But as far as him just standing out as Prodigy by himself, that was the first time I seen him, and I was like, yo, when hearing that verse, that's a problem. The first time I knew he was going to be, ongoing problem, like as far as his own song, was that Quiet Storm. And I think I just wanted to highlight those two. It's definitely not to take away anything from the Mobb Deep legacy, because we already know, or those who know, you know what I'm saying? Classic group, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Havoc as well. Classic group in Mobb Deep. One of the best hip hop group duos and period to do it in hip hop. And it just speaks volumes that he's still able to make noise and just do what he needs to do even after his passing once again. So when he passed, I remember there was like a lot of people, not even just in the music space, but just even like weathermen, like using song titles and, songs of, that he's done in order to tell the weather, to commemorate, his contribution, just that he's done with Mobb Deep and, by himself. So I think that speaks volumes in that he was beyond hip hop. So this dude ain't just some regular spitter. He is a legend without a shadow of a doubt. So there's so much could be said about, him, Mobb Deep, and, the likeness there and of, but, I'll pass it on to L to,
Before you go in, L, D-Von, what's your favorite album, man, from Prodigy, man? Favorite song, man? What's your thoughts on the Prodigy joint, man? L, what's your joint, man, on the Prodigy? I remember, man, you brought me that Hell on Earth, man, and it changed the whole summer.
Oh, that one. Wow.
Yeah. Man, it's just
Hell on Earth. Who's last gonna be first? The enemy is one time. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. It just hit me.
Get to that.
Oh man.
They just so perfect duo is kind of what I would call it when I think about Mobb Deep. And then when I think about Prodigy, one of the things that I think people underestimate a little bit is just having like an appealing voice on the mic, man. And that's one of the things that Prodigy had in spades.
He did. He really did.
What I'm saying? Like his voice and his presence on a song.
Yes.
He legitimately is somebody who could spit nursery rhymes on the beat, and it would just sound cold because of his voice and his presence on the song. You match that with the fact that that the production was just absolutely
shout out to Havoc.
Bananas.
Yeah.
Havoc, Alchemist, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. I mean, once you get to that space, man, you just end up in another stratosphere. Not to mention that these guys, that on top of all of the gifts they were given, they had bars too. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is why when you think about, if you a young cat right now and you listening to us and you like, man, why do these guys always got some of these young people so fucked up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And that's because we had people like Prodigy, man. Like, yeah, he had the voice, he had the presence, he had the flow, but he had the bars
he
too.
did
the other thing too, I can say with Devon, the bars were grimy.
They were grimy.
Keep it thorough.
Yes.
That's my record to this day. I can go to the office and go straight crazy in the whip, man. Before I got the whip and go in that office, man. That keep it thorough will get you gangster anywhere you need to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I think that, like, once you've heard somebody who had the stack deck and decided, hey, I'm still gonna push and I'm still gonna work and I'm still gonna show you how to make this happen. When you hear some of these new cats that they have the talent in spades, but they seem like they haven't like pushed the craft, or they haven't tried to take what they have in talent and really expand upon it, you just end up being a little bit more disappointed. You know what I'm saying? Because we know where some of these young cats could be if they focused on their craft a little bit. Because if they did, they would end up being closer to somebody like Prodigy. And so if you're thinking about somebody, if you a dude out here right now, you say you want to rap, or you've been rapping for some years and you got a little bit of traction or whatever it is that you got going, you might want to study Prodigy. And let's also be clear, like, Mobb Deep took a hit, like a gut punch from Jay-Z, and survived.
And Tupac.
And Tupac, Tupac, right? Like, Tupac was the biggest person at his moment in time, and Jay-Z was the biggest person at his moment in time. Who can take hits like that and still come out on the other side, bro? Like,
man,
it takes a true.
I can say that they took the punches, and people be like, well, who the heck is Mobb Deep? These little young dudes. But then when you heard the music, you're like, oh,
bruh,
these dudes are serious.
Yeah, and it
started with it. Of course, it starts with production, but P's bars, man, changed the game. In my opinion, and I think this is even why Eminem put that beat on 8 Map. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying. It starts with P. Like I think what Devon said, man, his voice makes you think of almost hallway piss.
It does.
You know what I'm saying? Projects, nighttime hustling. I mean,
that's
real talk, dude, man.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you.
Absolutely.
So if you don't know P, you need to get to know P. If you don't know Mobb Deep, you need to get to know Mobb Deep, because
absolutely
these two brothers here, man, like, they really showed you how to do it, and legitimately showed you how to do it from a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because
they didn't have no advantages coming into this game.
They didn't. You took it right from me, brother.
Got into this game, they took a couple of gut shots right out the gate, and they still made things happen. And that's because these brothers right here, man, was just phenomenal artists, man.
When you take real quick, I'm gonna just insert something real quick. Pause. Anytime you take the little clicker of the stove, you know, the little joint when you light the stove and you hear that click, and you use that as a hi-hat, that goes to LB's point that I was gonna mention. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. I mean, you get it out the mud, literally. And you set the expectations higher than your current conditions. But yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there in that mix. But yeah, go ahead. My bad, LB.
No, that was it, man. That was it.
And this thing, when he passed, man, it was a sad day for real.
It really was.
And you can almost say, and a shout out to Nas for doing the KD trilogy and all that. But hip hop, in my opinion, that raw, rugged hip hop passed when Prodigy passed.
It did,
because it's really nobody out here really doing it. There's a couple of dudes out here, but they dancing when they do it. Ain't no Prodigy dancing, man. Ain't no ain't no all that. But like I said, he kept it thorough. He's a real dude. Took care of his fam. You know what I'm saying? He had love for that Porsche 11. You know what I'm saying? He loved that Porsche. You know what I'm saying? I remember he had the story about Jay coming into the club, and it was like they were deep, Mobb Deep. They was deep in the club, and Jay was like, "Oh, they gonna snuff me." So Jay being Jay went straight to Prodigy, was like, "Hey man, you know it's just hip hop, bro. It's hip hop, bro." And then he had a breezy with him, and like nobody else. He was like, "Man, we can't really get him because you know, he came straight to Prodigy and showed him love." So it's like, you know, it's crazy, man. But like I said, man, it's Prodigy's that dude, man. Shout out to Nightmare, man. This Nightmare's guy too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. We definitely.
But long story short, man, the Prodigy's that
hit
guy.
Hard. Yeah.
Prodigy's that dude, man. And anybody who knows real hip hop, and you know, same here for me, Von. You know, man, it messed me up, man. Like real talk. And this thing, if you really love P, go check out his books.
Absolutely.
Go check out some of the things that he was talking about before he passed away.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? When he passed away, it was almost like with Pimp C. When Pimp C was talking about what he was talking about, and next thing you know, he gone in a hotel room. P's talking what he talking about. He's gone in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, his death was kind of weird. It was messed up, man. And it came out of nowhere because, you know, we don't want to see our legends die at all. And to me, you know, these dudes, like LB said, and of course, I think people P said the same thing in vain, is these dudes had so much stacked against them and still rose to the top, man, of hip hop when it was a put your hands on you type situation. You can't just go to somewhere and perform and get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna fight somebody.
Yeah.
But he did. Devon is right, man. He left history. Go check out these albums. Support. You know. I don't want to say everything is right now is under his independent label right now. Correct, Bebo?
I believe so. I think his estate or the estate in association with Prodigy just
they're on Infamous. They're on Infamous. Yeah, they're on Prodigy's Infamous record. So he's getting his publishing.
Okay, yeah. They just got. I think they just cleared some stuff as far as the catalog is concerned. So yeah. And now you're seeing more of his music on streaming platforms. If you his
music on streaming platforms, go check that out. But the biggest thing, man, they don't get a lot of money if you're streaming it. Go cop something, man. So if you look at our Instagram, you'll see a lot of stuff that we're copying, that we're trying to get you to buy. Vinyl, hard CDs, pause. Go cop that stuff. Books. This is why we have a book of the week, bars of the week. And LB got a segment we're going to talk about too in a minute too. So we got a lot of segments coming through, but this is why we do these things, because you need to buy content. This is what helps everybody out at the end of the day, not just streaming. So last thoughts on here before we get out of here on this topic, and then we do flyers of the week.
Man, I think we all really just said it well, even those in the comment section. Prodigy he's a top whatever artist. I mean, you fill in the blank as far as the number. That's not us just saying this because, you know, it's, you know, commemorating Prodigy. He was on the verge of being on our top list of New York draft selections if we didn't pick the artist that we originally picked. So that speaks volumes. And there's a lot of artists in the game that came in just blazing the trails as legends, some maybe not as legends, but critically acclaimed. P is a legend. Mobb Deep is a legend. Shout out to Havoc. Definitely check out Mobb Deep. Again, one of the best groups to ever do it within the realm of hip hop, rap. Just check them out. Definitely check out all the stuff that Iceberg told y'all to check out, in addition to just the music that's streamed. And it's hard to get disappointed if you're a fan of real hardcore East Coast.
And shout out to Devon. We gotta get Devon on the show so he can tell us some stories, man. We gotta get you on all day, man. Like, we get you on next Wednesday, man. We gotta holler at you, man. Hit us with your IG or something like that, man.
You know what's crazy?
Or hit us on our IG, actually, Devon, man. FRSHOUT show. We gotta get you on, man.
I was just looking at some of the information on this on the Mobb Deep Hell on Earth album, and I totally forgot about this one little piece, but I remember it now, which is that the Hell on Earth was one of the first enhanced CDs.
It was.
Yeah, that's why you had it. Remember, you put it on a computer.
It really was.
That's why you had that joint.
Yep.
He was like, oh, you put it on there and like you could do some. I forgot what you could do on it. I don't know, videos or what.
Extra track that you couldn't get to unless you pop that mug into the computer.
That's right.
And
you're
then
right.
You could get a hold of that extra track. And obviously, we in the internet age now, so that don't mean nothing. Not much to people.
What street cats are doing that though?
Yeah. And that's the thing, because this album came out in '96. He did that in '96.
Yeah.
Had the enhanced CD. That was bomb.
Yeah, and actually, this was before Alchemist. I want to say before Alchemist really had a hand on production with Mobb Deep. I think Mobb Deep produced like all the albums maybe up to this point or somewhere around about there. Or when I say Mobb Deep, it was largely Havoc, I'm sure. But I think that's important too.
Hey man, and that's the thing too, man. I don't think Prodigy really gets the credit he deserves, man, because he's a thug cat, man. You know, and he was a thinker, man. He was way ahead of the game.
He sure was.
The sad part about it, like Prince, Pimp C, those kind of guys, man, they don't last long.
Oh, you know I mean,
because somebody's scared of what you forward thinking. You know.
Oh yeah, Illuminati got my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep that eye on me.
He was saying, what year was that? What year did he say that in?
It was mid-90s.
Remember Jay sampled that joint.
Yeah. Mid-90s.
Secret society trying to keep
that eye on me. Yep. Yeah. Straight up and down. Oh yeah, we ain't just talking just to be talking. We know what we're saying here. We got it.
You know this.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
What we doing for bars of the week, y'all?
Flowers.
Flowers of the week. We already did bars of the week.
Oh man.
Secret society trying to keep an eye on me, man.
Oh man. So speaking of producing your own album.
Speaking of producer.
I'm gonna take my situation all the way out west to Sacramento, and I'm gonna go with a cat who did the very same thing. And same thing as Mobb Deep, but in his own way. And I'm going to go ahead and rock with Brother Lynch Hung on this one from Sacramento. Wow. He used to be called...
such a classic, man.
Man.
Brother Lynch Hung, love that.
Brother Lynch Hung, yeah. I saw an interview not long ago. I think it was this week. He had said his former name before Brother Lynch Hung was Ice Cold. So... Iceberg Slim, Ice Cube, Ice T. Hey, y'all got somebody right there in the fray. But he is, a lot of people then and even now called him the originator of horrorcore rap. Horrorcore rap, just because he had just a boatload of violent references in virtually all of his music. But he hit the scene like blazing back in the mid-90s. And I want to say his first LP was called Season of the Sickness, it was called, and a lot of people was onto that. So and that's what put me onto him, even though he had like a EP that had some kind of rock sounds to it, and I forgot the name of it. It has something with the title Policeman, I think. I forgot, but either way, that Season of the Sickness was really what put me onto him back then in the 90s, and had a lot of people flabbergasted just because of his approach, because nobody else was doing the horrorcore, bloody this and, what he calls rip gut music. Wasn't nobody else doing that, before him. And before I forget, I want to say that Brother Lynch Hung was the first, again, just to emphasize, rather, he was the first artist that actually wrote, recorded, and mixed his very own albums, at least the first two that he released, and that was big time too, because
that's big.
That's big. That's very big. I mean, that first there was that 24 Deep, I think that was an EP, and then that then Season of the Sickness came about. But he was consistent like from like the mid-90s to like 2013, from every like 1 to 3 years, dropping something. And then like he's worked with like the Dog Pound, E40, SIBO, Master P and No Limit, Tech Nine. I mean, so he, and actually, I know it's been like several years since maybe 2013 or I could be slightly wrong on that since his last project, but I went to his website and he said that he's dropping a Season of the Sickness 2. So he said that on a 30-second little video. So it's important to do your research because you just never know sometimes. You know, just go ahead and check out, support the brother. Definitely one of the best horrorcore cats, because I remember RZA had a group called the Gravediggers that did horrorcore, and then today you got my cat called my guy Nightmare, who's doing that too. Shout out to Nightmare. But you know, definitely one of the best rip gut artists to ever do it in hip hop, and salute to BLH for his bloody legacy.
Yeah. LB, what you got, Mike?
You know, I'm gonna take it in a totally different kind of direction.
That's what we do.
That's all good. It's all good. No, I know I got a little too violent for you for those ears.
No. This one is pretty bad too. But I think everybody who knows this man will appreciate this. But this is a man that basically just had a one-hit wonder, but he's one of my favorite one-hit wonders, and that's my man Honetly, man. So
Honetly, man.
I want to give him his flowers.
Yeah, man.
Listen.
He was legendary, just like that song, though. That was legendary.
Yeah.
That song is absolutely legendary, man. And if he did nothing else, he brought us that song, and I am cool with it. You know what I'm saying? And I do think that some of these guys kind of get lost in the mix a little bit. And sometimes we forget some of these songs that were what we call underground hits, right? Like
that's why we do the flowers.
You kind of don't get underground hits as much today anymore. You kind of get guys that had a little bit of a buzz on SoundCloud or something, and then they're like the next big thing. Back then, you would just end up with like a underground hit, and you may or may not go on to do, too much else. But what's funny is, he was also the producer of the Swiss Beats Money in the Bank.
Yes, he was. He sure was.
Yeah.
Which is totally random. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's like, okay, I'm gonna put out this joint, back in 96, and then I'm gonna pop back up in 2007 or 2008 or whatever, man. So but man, shouts out to my man Honetly, man. You deserve flowers purely for that song, and that song, man, it took care of so many of us in the 90s.
Hey, okay.
Especially in college.
Yeah. Can I add something real quick to that?
Absolutely.
I remember his first time that he really hit the scene, or at least that I seen him hit the scene on was on that Live at the Barbecue.
Yes.
With that Main Source. So let's not sleep on. Shout out to Main Source. On that, Breaking Adams.
He's ingrained in New York hip hop.
Oh yeah, he is. That was a start. And it's funny too that I mentioned,
but that song is legendary.
Oh yeah, it still is. And it's funny how I mentioned somebody that was like completely like violent horrorcore, and then L mentioned somebody that's largely like, let's just say explicit in a particular way. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So I thought it was
there you go.
Interesting dynamics, but great selection there. L. Iceberg
well,
Slim.
Now, let me bring it back to the middle. Pause. Gotta shout out, man. You guys always do rappers, man, for the most part. So I always gotta do somebody in different areas in the music. So I wanted to shout out, man, Rockweiler, man. And, I don't think anybody had a good 5 to 8 year run than Rockweiler.
His run was crazy.
Of course, he started in 94 with Flatliners, Redman, There's a Dark Side, that kind of stuff. Eric Sermon. But then like he really hit it, man, with that Busta Rhymes When Disaster Strikes. Yeah. Then of course the Jay-Z The Hard Knock Life, Volume 2, Hard Knock Life Volume 2. Volume 3, Busta. I mean, he's known for Busta Rhymes and Redman. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna hear him all day long on those records. But even doing songs for LL Cool J, Janet Jackson, man, produced like 4 songs for her. You know what I'm saying?
Hey man, he hooked Redman
2001, 2002. All the way up pretty much to like 2004. He was the man.
He was the man.
Let's be clear. the best beat almost. I can probably put top 10 beat is that Redman and Method Man.
The Blackout. No. The Rockwilder. The Rockwilder. Yeah. La da da la 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 da da.
La 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 la.
The Rockwilder. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, that might be one of the illest beats ever.
And then of course 12 a.m. on the way to the club.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah, man. You got 5 seconds to put your drink down. You know what I'm saying? 5 seconds up. Let's go. And shout out to Beanie for getting finessed for that for Jay-Z.
Oh man. Jay-Z finessed.
Jay-Z finessed in the whole game, all the way to Boardwalk. You know what I'm saying? The Park Place, man.
Absolutely.
So, but shout out to Rockwilder, man. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get him on the podcast. I know he's got so many legendary stories. So
I know he's got a ton. Just a ton.
Man. That Lonnie Love ton.
Oh man,
that Lizzo ton. But hey man, shout out to everybody watching, supporting the show. Champion, man, sponsorship, man. You know how it goes down.
Bro, hold on. Rockwilder did the Lady Marmalade.
Yeah,
he sure did.
He's eating off of that song to this day. Dude.
Dude, he's in all. Yeah, the Busta. I mean, his Busta Rhymes catalog is serious.
Yes, it is. As well as his Meth and Red. Yeah, Redman one in particular. Yeah.
All right. I was looking through and I saw that.
Like I said, man, I love to get him on the show, man. Like Styles P, man, that Gangsta and the Gentleman had a record on there. Nas Lost Tapes. Rap. Christina Aguilera, remember he did the record for her.
Yeah, he did that dirty joint.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Like he had a run, bro. That early 2000s when everybody's wearing like platinum and had a Cadillac Escalade on spinners, dog.
Bro, he was
that dude, man. 50 Cent Get Rich or Die Trying, man. Like, he's got plaques, bro, all over that house.
He does.
Come on, man. So again, man, shout out to him, man. But
shout out to Rockwilder.
Salute to Devon, man. Touch, Hip Hop VCR, man. Everybody just holding it down, man. North Carolina, man. It's like I said, man. The show is getting crazy. We've been doing more work. It's summertime, but we still out here. This is in my opinion, the longest consecutive running show. We've been running since November of 2021, man. A live hip hop show, debate show. So, like I said, man, we just want to show love, man. We appreciate you tapping in with us. People been showing love on the replays. So, again, J. Kim, Bebo P, LB the Podfather. What's some shout outs before we get out of here, man?
You know the people, man. That's it. The people make it go around.
Yeah. Rest in peace to the former Super Bowl champ, man. He was a sideline analyst, Tony Siragusa.
Tony Siragusa, big dude, man.
Yeah. And Pete, and shout out to I think it was like over 1,000 folks that passed in the recent earthquake in Afghanistan, along like 1,500 more plus rather that got harmed from it. So it's always unfortunate to learn that there's a devastation that causes the loss of life. But like Elle was saying at the beginning of the show too, man, definitely get your household prepared with these rising prices of gas, food, and but yet these jobs aren't increasing incomes to match the rate of inflation.
Yeah, they're not.
The possibility of a recession or maybe even a stagflation isn't far-fetched. So
yeah, man.
Stack as much non-perishable foods as possible. Definitely save that bag if you can. Start or get going a legit side hustle if you haven't yet, or if you have, like I said, keep that going and get it right with God. If that's something that you still need to do, consider getting it right with him. And along with all of that, man, L and heck, we all say it. Stay safe out here. Peace to you, brothers. Peace to the consumers. Hit that subscribe and like buttons with the notification bell if you haven't. Shout out to Champion for sponsoring FRSHOUT, the world's most dangerous podcast. And with that said, Iceberg Slim, take us on, brother. Yep.
Like I said, man. L, you say a shout out or no?
Nah, man. It was just for the people, man. That was it.
Okay.
For the people.
Like I said, man. Hey, just hey, man. It's always a blessing to be with you, gentlemen, man. Again, this isn't just a show, man. It's almost a ministry, man. Hip hop is pretty much a foundation. But it starts with, man, our brotherhood that we have. But then it's you guys, man, the people that chime in, showing love, doing the show, after the show, on the social media, man. We appreciate it again. Tap in with us Wednesdays, 9:30. We're here, man. We might be a little late, but tap in with us.
You know,
we really really appreciate when you guys come on and just show us that love and sharing the topics, man, and what your thoughts are, man. So this is why we do it and put in the work, man. So again, shout out to everybody, Bebo P, J Kemp, LB the Podfather, and again, shout out to J Kemp for that great bars of the week, man. Like that album is really dope. If you didn't go, rewind back and go check it out. But that Elzai is dope, man. So again, we here again. We'll see you Wednesday, man. Peace out.
Peace.
Holla.
Hold up. You're now listening to Fresh Out, the world's most dangerous music podcast on the OMG Network and Raw